Hello everyone, welcome to the Thrust of Curiosity. From today onwards, we will going to see how to deal with the questions in NET examination. Particularly, I will solve some questions on physical science, or we will discuss some concepts in physical sciences. But I also want to know everyone who are preparing for NET of any subject. So this in this video I am going to tell you how to study, how to make a strategy to study for NET examination. So let's start. So before going to work on CSIR net or UGC net, here are some list of examinations. CSIR net and UGC net is same level of examination, but the difference is CSIR net conducts the exam for physical science, chemical science, life sciences, mathematical sciences, and earth sciences. Only 5 subject CSIR net conducts exam in, and UGC net conducts exam in all other. Almost more than 80 subjects are there, including computer science, electronics, Hindi, Marathi, history, and all. Then we have set gate. So after MSc, all these exams you can appear for. IIT JAM you can appear in BSc itself. Then you have only for physics you have BARC, TFR, JEST. And if you know in detail about all these exams, then let me know in the comments so that I can make a separate video on this all exams, because here it will be very lengthy. We will go to study the strategy of the exam. So to start your study, you have to make some plan, and for that you need to do some research and you need to do some work on this. So for this you have to take in mind these following points: pattern of exam, nature of exam. So what are these? These are like, what is the sections, how many sections are there in your paper, like A, B, C, or just A and B. What is the marking scheme, how much mark per question are there in each of the section. Then whether the negative marking is there or not. So in UGC net there is no negative marking, but in CSR net there is a negative marking. So the people who are studying for CSR net have to be very careful. Okay, one more thing I forgot to tell: for physics people, those who are studying for physical science or physics, they have to appear for the CSIR net exam physical science, because every year UGC net launches the registration form earlier than CSIR net, and there is one subject there called as physical education. So most of the people I have seen that they apply for physical education, but they wanted actually to apply for physics. So take a note that don't apply for physical education. Those who want to apply for physics, you have to wait for CSR net registration, and there you have to apply physical science. Okay, physical science is a physics, not physical education. Come back to the strategy. So while deciding your plan, you have to also do the analysis of previous year question papers. Now this is very easier nowadays to get the analysis, ready-made analysis on YouTube or on some Google. You will get on any website freely, free of cost. So you can see that analysis, and from that you also check your syllabus of your particular subject. On that syllabus you have to focus what are the strength, your strength, in which subject you are very good, and which points are very easy. So you have to focus on them, but also they have to be important from the point of view of the exam, because if you study very easy concept but they don't come, there are no questions in your exam on that particular topic, then the energy is wasted. So you have, therefore that's why you need to do the analysis of your paper. And last thing, important thing is that you have to know the cutoff in general, how much it varies year by year, and from that you have to set your target. So if the merit is 100 out of 200, then you have to set a little higher target. So whenever I studied, I set my target to 105, that is 105, and then I started to work. Then I started to study. So whatever is your subject, according to your subject and according to the cutoff, you set your target. Then if you are preparing, if the exam is 6 months away or 1 year away, or you have 2 years, whatever time that you have, so in long term you can study using reference books, but don't just read the theory, solve the problems, make your own notes. You can use the notes by other people also, but it is very useful if you make your own notes. And you have to solve the examples unit wise. Suppose you study today some let's say differential equation, then solve like problems on that. Tomorrow you might study canonical transformation, then solve problems on that, and then move towards the to the next topic. So this is the long term, and you have to also do the revision time by time. I will talk about that later also. Then if you have short term, very short period to study and for the exam, let's say your exam is within 2 months, so in that period what you have to do, or 1 month, so in that period you have to give 2 or 3, at least 2 mock tests. So you get familiar with the exam environment and the tools used in the exam, because this is a CBT mode exam, that is the computer based exam. So you need to know where is the calculator. Sometimes student cannot use the calculator because they don't know how to use that virtual calculator. So it is very good practice to give the mock test, so that it will give some benefit. Then you have to solve previous year question papers, so that it will boost of your knowledge about your subject. It will give you the idea on which particular area you have to work on, you have to still targets to achieve, or in which area you can grow more. And then the most important thing, how to study. Most of the student ask how to study. So for net, get or set examination, you need to understand the concept. You cannot just remember the things and answer in the paper like you did in your board exams, because here you need to apply the thing, and to apply something you need to understand. To solve some problems you need to understand. So after reading the theory, solve the problems, solve the examples, solve the numericals on that particular problem, or on that particular topic. Some people may not have to solve problems, like people who came from the background Marathi, Hindi, history, or like that. So then they don't need to solve anything. But those who have some calculation part, like physics, mathematics, chemistry, also have some calculations, computer science, electronics, they have some calculation. So they need to solve the examples on their part, whatever they are learning. You have to revise the thing, so that you should not miss anything, you should not forget anything while attempting the questions. Then you have to do you have to find out the interrelations, or we say the connect between the dots. You see there are different papers in each of subject. Like in physics we have 9 papers. So there is some question from electromagnetism which may need to use the concept in mathematics or classical mechanics. So that's why you should know the concept in classical mechanics or maths, or as well as the concept in electrostatic or electromagnetic, like or like that. So if you are using quantum mechanics, if you are studying quantum mechanics, then you will see the application is that the nuclear physics, atomic physics, solid state physics. So if you know some concept in quantum mechanics, then you can apply that in this kind of papers. So my advice to you is that don't just focus on one paper, start studying simultaneously on at least 2 or 3 papers. Like if you are studying mathematical physics, then also start along with classical mechanics or quantum mechanics. I would say you should start quantum, or you should start with classical and mathematical physics. Mathematical physics is so vast, so that if you start simultaneously classical and mathematical, classical mechanics will end within few days, you will still work on mathematical, then you start electromagnetic or quantum mechanics. Okay, when I will make a video specifically on physics, I will elaborate this in detail. Then you have to do the smart work. Like I said, on which topic you have to focus, you just study only that point. You just don't read everything. You don't need to do this, but you have to do the hard work. I mean, use your brain to make a plan. So your smart works is making a plan, but to execute a plan needs the hard work. Then the more useful way to learn is to teach or to study in the group. So that gives you benefits while you prepare for your exams. Suppose you are in exam and you are solving a question, then to save the time, these are some hints or these are some hacks to do. First read the option and then read the question. Why this is so? This is because when you read the options first, most of the time you know what are the wrong options, you can eliminate them. And okay, we will, when we will solve some problems, actually you will get to know how this is very useful and why it is important to read the option first and then read the question. Because sometimes what happens, you read everything in the question and you don't know what to do, what to get, what is the answer, I mean what to solve. So when you read the option, you know, okay, from that formula you have to do this or that. So sometimes it is very useful to read the options first. Then there is selection process of correct answer. That is, you read the question, solve the question correctly, and find the correct answer from the option. That is called a selection process. You all know, but this is time taking process. Sometimes the deselection process is very fast. So what is deselection process? You read the options and then eliminate the wrong options. So you have only two choices, and from that two choices you have to just select some option by using some calculation or using logic, whatever. Then compare and contrast is also the same. You have to compare all the options and then either select or deselect the options. Then one more thing is that try to find solution without solving by conventional method. Okay, without conventional method, if you can solve like by just reading the options and doing some logical thinking in your brain, so that will also help to save your time. The last but not least is the read with caution, because sometimes what happens, we miss some word and that may lead to the wrong answer. Suppose there is some question and it is asking what is not true, and you find something which is true, so you select something which is true, but the question is not true, what is not true. So such mistakes may happen. Or sometimes you calculate something, answer is 2, and but the correct option is -2, or you by mistake you do something wrong, and then you will get something incorrect. So you have to do everything with caution. You have to read the question very cautiously. You have to understand the question first before trying to solve, and then the calculation process you don't make any mistake. So UGC net people may not lose anything, but CSR net people may lose the mark because there is a negative marking for CSR net people. Okay, the last point today in this video I am going to cover is that who should join the class and who should not join. So my suggestion is that whoever is able to do self study and whoever is ready to do study in your home without any distraction, such people don't need to join any class. But those people who need to focus, but they cannot focus at your home or in your surrounding is not like that you can study, so they people can go to join some classes. But you have to do hard work by your own. Classes can only help you how to study and whatever. But there are some alternative to classes, so I want you to know that there are many YouTube channels or many notes available on Google. So use the free notes, use the free videos, and so it will save your money. Sometimes it may take longer time, like I did. I never went to coaching, but it took me 8 attempts to qualify ZRF and 6 attempts to qualify the LS. But but this in this process you get rich by knowledge. So I would recommend not just to go class, because in the class you have to go with the pace of the teacher. But if that pace and your pace is not matching, then that may not get the correct result you wanted. So I recommend, first try to study yourself using the free resources available on Google. Like we have YouTube for particularly part A of net or set. There is a channel of Christy Varghese sir. I am giving the link in the description box of his video. So you can see his lectures at very free of cost. And if you want to purchase some on Unacademy also, then that is also okay. There are various free videos on NPTEL, Coursera, Udemy. Udemy also has some paid courses. So you can use any of this material, free resources you can use. Some resources may focus on the solving the problem, or some may focus on understanding. So according to your needs, you have to check the YouTube channel. And I'm not giving any particular YouTube channel here except this part A, because I have found this very interesting and very useful for people who are weak in part A. I will also discuss in separate video how to deal with part A whenever I will start actually teaching about net exam. So that's it. If you have any question, queries or suggestions, you can email me, WhatsApp me on given contacts. You can also comment me on the YouTube videos here. Any your suggestions are very welcome, because I am starting this very new course. Okay, and as I told about the cutoff, it is important that you don't need to study everything, because cutoff is not 100%, it is somewhere 50%. So even if you don't know 50%, then also you can qualify. So you need to focus on the things like I said, smart work. So you need to do this. I hope this video is useful for you. Share with your friends so that they also get benefit out of it. And I will continue to bring some videos as per my schedule. And thank you so much for listening. Like, share and subscribe. Thank you.